You are
listening to the City Talk podcast.
Yes, you are listening to the City Talk podcast.
Hello everyone. Welcome back to the City Talk podcast.
Today, every one of us is here. Alright, time to introduce ourselves. Let's start with me. Hi everyone, I'm Nat.
Hi, I'm Pam.
Hi, I'm Lekta.
And it's me. Hello everybody, I am Annie. Yay!
Woo! Well, why are we all here? Are there special in this episode?
Of course, there are extraordinary for this episode. We are prepared and this is the last episode.
Oh, it's sad, but true.
Well, this is our last episode, so we're gonna talk about the most favorite scene, the most favorite dialogue, and what we have learned from the series.
That's really interesting topic in discussion. I'm the one who have watched the series for many times. The first thing that time up on my mind when think of the series is adventure, zombie, and usurpation. Well, Lekta, how do you think of this series? And why did you choose this series for analysis?
Actually, I don't like this kind of series. It's not my type at all. But my friends have been suggesting me to watch it. You know, they kept telling me, you need to watch this series. I was like, gosh, this is not my fave. Hello, come on. But in the end, I was defeated. So, I went for watches. For God's sake.
That's weird. Did you watch this because a friend recommend?
It's half correct. My friends, they said it's a great series. By the time, I was like, stop convincing me, you lose. But someday I was in bed and got bored. So I was finding something to watch. I chose this one out of knowing why. Is this weird? It's not. I fell in love with it. There are beautiful sets, and the settings are in spring season. It's my favorite season, and the views are beautiful, charming, and enchanted. In my personal opinion, horror movie is enough. I hate this kind of movie. Firstly, I thought Kingdom is a pure horror series, but actually, this was a horror series which combined with historical period. Well, I would say I hate it because I think it must be scary, absurd, and because it is a historical period series. So it's gonna be boring, make me sleepy. But when I try to open mind for the series, the first thing I do is watching the teaser. At the same time, I thought this was a normal zombie series, but the Kingdom was different. Zombies in other movies or series are slow moving. They move like a worm. But zombies in Kingdom, they are fast moving like a horse and kill every creature in their path. Moreover, I love every scene that people are fighting zombies to save their life. Those are amuse me. You know what? When I start watching it, I had no ability to stop. So I watched every episode in a day. I would say this series is humorous, but it's worth it to watch. Can't believe I love it.
That's good. People like you who don't like watching these kinds of movies or series, but you brave enough to open your mind, step out of the box, you will find new things. So, which scene do you favorite most after watch it, girl?
Well, if you ask me, which scene do I favor the most? The answer would be the scene that Before the sunset and the zombie were awakening, the crown prince was helping his citizens to escape for the zombie and to find the safety path. He said, if everyone doesn't escape, you shall die, and I will never ever leave my people behind. They had to emigrate from a town to other town. Everyone was emigrated by walking, riding horse for the oats, cutting for patience in the last minute before they arrived at the saving town. Suddenly, the zombies appeared. By the time the cows were shocked and screaming out, some were fighting, some were hiding, and some were running away. This is the scene that makes me feel, and this is one of the most hectic scenes in the series. And I would like, were they safe? Did they survive? Did the cow save his citizen? I was keeping my eye on what happened next. Lastly, they were safe. Gosh! And you know what? I was almost got a heart attack. Just a hilarious. So in this, by the time there were pictures of Korean society shown in my mind, and I felt like Korean people back then were so petty, because back to the age of Joseon about 6 centuries ago, people hadn't had any vehicle in terrain. Even the modern weapon in fighting with those budding zombies. So they were empty-handed in fighting with zombies. That's word impossible.
I think so. Even nowadays that we have all, modern weapons in fighting the zombie. But it's almost impossible to handle the zombie. Lastly, we have to run away in saving our life. So, why did you favor the scene?
The reason why I impressed with the scene, because this scene is tearing me with event that people are saving their own life for zombie. It makes me enjoy and exciting. At the same time, I feel so pity for those people who had to evacuate, and also for those who died peacefully and turned into zombie non-fearing creatures. I was questioning myself, why are they receiving this karma? Nobody deserves it. Those villagers didn't deserve it. It's a really tragedy. Finally, this scene also makes me appreciate the kindness of the cow prince to his people. So he can escape, but he should stay in helping his people, stay to share happiness and suffer with his people.
Yes, he was. I see. The prince was like you have said. He was so bravery, caring, and charming. He's the real sacrificer. I do respect him so much.
Not only that, I also got the fact. You know what? After I watched all every episode in this series, I paid all attention and analyzed the series. I see that situations in the series are related to real history of Korea in Joseon era. By the time Joseon was undeveloped, people were underdog for the king. People had difficult life, no medicine, no food, and some were struggling for power.
Yes, they were. They really were, girl. That's why Joseon came to an end. People are the key of driving the country, even the great empire. If citizens are not as one, that is the end of everything.
Just a philosophy. You should go and be a prime minister.
Thank you.
Oops. So, come
Oops.
back. We are in open sea now.
Okay.
I would say in the series, there are major topics to talk about. There are zombie,
Survivor,
yes, for
disease, anticipation.
yes.
Yeah. As everybody knows that Zombies are people who come back from death, right? They lose controlling of his body, non-emotion, but they still keep the raw instinct. They kill every creature on their path with bloody and greedy. I can say zombies are dangerous.
If you say zombies are dangerous, I will be like, no, they aren't.
Why?
Why?
Because if we thought fully consider zombies are non-emotion creature, losing controlling on their body, blah blah blah. That means zombies are like an animal. If we have fully conscious, we can handle it easily. But for humans who have great education and fully emotional, they are conscious what they are doing, and if that humans still do something that harm to other society or even environment, it's proof that humans are harmful than zombie for sure.
Whoa.
We have another female philosopher. What are you waiting for? Clap your hand.
You're so actor, but thank you. However, I have a lot of unresolved questions about the series.
What are you wondering?
It's probably be what is the cause of zombie? Who is truly rebel and how will the rebel be at the end? Will the culprit accept the throne? Did you know I am questioning myself all the time and I keep looking for the answer. Can't believe I'm obsessed with it.
Oh, me too. All I can say is, to be continued, the new season is coming. I hope every conflict will be resolved.
Can't wait for season 2. I need a time machine.
Okay, I heard the new season is started filming and it is coming soon. Well, what about you, Pam? What is your favorite scene?
In my personal opinions, I like every scene in the Kingdom series. The storyline in this series is very interesting. There are drama, battle, and plot twists in very episodes, making me keep eyes on. But my most favorite scene is in the last episode. In the scene that the queen was talking with Rajabhat about sealing the gate to prevent an attack from zombies at the waterfront pavilions in the palace. He determined to abdicate all the areas outside the palace, including the Gyeongsam, where was the land of grain. It's just the scene that two characters were talking to each other. No excitement, no zombie chasing. But in the scene, there was a powerful speech. That's why I was obnoxious and liked this scene. The dialogue said, do you regard power only as means of counting money? How many cadavers do you think are at the bottom of this pond? Someday, when no one says a word about how many cadavers I have dumped in this pond, that is what power is for. Oh, for God's sake! This character, Rajabhat character, he was the one who has done everything to reach the power equivalent to king, even though it was harmful to others, just because he wanted to reach the power. This character is the major piece of jigsaw that fulfilled the storyline and moving the whole story. Yeah.
The character of Rajabhat is a truly villain that commonly seen in many films. He can really do everything he wants without even care of others. I don't want this kind of person in real society. This is too harmful to human race.
Yes, certainly. I never seen any villain character that's effect to others to suffer like this. He doesn't seem to feel anything at all about what happened in Chosun. And because of him, that made me learn a good lessons from this series. and I just want to convey what I have learned from my personal experience. From all 6 episodes, you will be learn about patience, determination, strength, or even being a compassionate person from the main character in this series. I probably make you want to be or want to do like them. In my personal opinion, I think this series have taught that don't do anything as Jo Hak-jo and the Queen did. They were selfish, dangerous, and disgusting. They didn't care of others. Nobody who stood against on their path. This meant unleashing their power. That person would be destroyed. On my perspective, I think that I am not supposed to behave like those characters. I should help others as I can. Don't be selfish and don't do everything that harms to others. What do you think about this speech? Someday, when no one says a word about how many cadavers I have dumped in this pond, that is what power is for. What's on your mind, Lecter?
For me,
Yes.
I think the speech showed that people who has taken over by avarice and ambitious until they can aware what is right or wrong. They thought of mercy, tenderness, and kindness to romance away, and also use the power they have in concealing their own craft. For Jo Hak-jo, as he in the Ganchaserer possession, he should utilize his power in making benefits for citizen, society, and for the kingdom.
I do love your perspective. You have said what I'm gonna say is making our home to be the place where everyone wants to live in is better than ruin it. Well, how about you, Pam? What do you think of the speech?
This speech can reflect many things. Imagine that. As if he kills somebody in front of you, you can't say nothing, just overlook. All you can say is, you're right, and that person deserves it. Power is by the people's eyes. Power can also change the right into the wrong. That's one shining in my mind.
Indeed, power is very scary.
Yes.
Not everyone deserves the power. It's for anyone only.
Yeah. Yes. The power is scary. Whoever receives it, they can immediately transfer to another person. They will transfer into a good or a bad, depends on how virtue and morality visit them.
But I can see many people go into a bad person.
Hey, we are talking about Jo Hak-jo, right?
Yes, we are. I don't mean to other.
Well, I think we better come back to talk about our favorite scenes before we reach at the Pacific Ocean. So, how about you? What do you think of Kingdom Nut?
Me?
Yeah.
As a horror movie fan, I've watched so many scary movies, such as Friday 13th, A Nightmare on Elm Street, The Conjuring, both Chapter 1 and 2, and Annabelle, etc. Zombie movies as well. I watched Resident Evil. I'm a big fan for this movie. The Walking Dead or The Evil Dead 2. Those are in horror movie category. So when I firstly saw the teaser of this series, I was like roll items and zombie again. In that time I thought this is gonna be boring, but someday I was home and got bored and I was looking for something to watch. I didn't know why I shoot this series. It's probably coincidentally. So when I started, I had no ability to stop watching it. This series was fascinating me. I fell in love with it. It's just hilarious, from a hater became a lover. For God's sake. Oh my God. So I think this series is a good series.
Well, that's good. You said you had no ability to stop, and you become a lover from hater. Why did you put it as good?
Yes, I love it. Doesn't mean I put in at the best. But are you wondering how I put it in?
I just want to provoke you, nothing else.
Seriously? Come on.
Well, what is your favorite scene?
Well, don't ask me about which scene I favor the most. Because you know what the answer is. Me, as you know, I'm a big fan horror movie. So I exceedingly love every single horror movie. Or I can say, I am addicted. Other is probably addicted to drugs, alcohol or marijuana. But I am addicted to horror movie. God, I can't believe.
Wow.
And for Kingdom, it is kind of horror movie, right? And there are so many horror scenes, and moreover, it had perfect combination with thriller that make me more obsessed with it. But yeah, if you ask me which scene I favor the most, the answer would be every scene in the series. Even the scene about usurpation is extremely thrilled me. As I said, there are so many horrible scenes in the series, right? Especially the scene that zombie kill a female assistant, and the scene that zombie were awakening. From all the horrible scenes, I probably prefer this scene the most. It is a scene that the opening scene of the series. It was dark, the sky was full of clouds, and there were no even a star in the sky. There was only sapphire moonlight that lighted the way. There were physician Lee and his young assistant, who was innocent and piteous, were holding a lamp on their hand and walking composedly together into the royal palace, Chombueng Palace, where the king reigns. By the time the king was severely sick and has passed away, the physician Lee had took the king back from the dead, and the king's already turned into a bloody zombie. But his assistant didn't know that. When they were in front of the king's bed, the physician told his assistant to offer the drug to the king. While he was delivering the drug to the king, suddenly the king was heavily dragged him, bite and tore him into pieces. He was screaming and asking for help pitifully. Outside, there were screaming sounds, and the sound was fading till the silence came again, as life of pitifully boy was taken. He died pitifully.
Oh, I can see how I arrest in the scene. Are you a psycho?
No, I'm not. Why did you ask me that?
Well, why are your favorite that scene? There are not beautiful settings. That is only virus.
Why I like this scene the most? It's probably because this is an opening scene, right? And this scene was perfectly combined with horror sense and thriller sense. And the way that young, pitiful boy screaming is what filled me and scared me. That's what my first impression for this series. That's why I favor this scene the most. It's my first impression. Not only the horror scenes in this series, had I also felt that back then to the age of Joseon, people were suffering. There were, crystal clear of discrimination in society between the nobility and laborer. The poverty and misery were enshrouding all every corner in the kingdom. And the kingdom was, in the way down and getting worse. The events in the series were coherent to real history. At the end of Joseon, people were truly suffering. They were poor and lack of good public health system. And there were the war with both China and Japan Empire. In the time, Joseon was poor and poverty, but nowadays, Joseon, or as known as Korea, is wealthy and rich. There are a lot of new technologies, new innovation are created from Korea. How do they do? Are you wondering, same as me?
Yes, it's true.
Yes, me too. Well, how do you think?
Well, after I thoughtfully meditated, I saw the truth that thing which made Korea step forward rapidly to be one of developed country in the world is harmony. The population of Korea nowadays, they are unity. That's the key. From a poor, become a billionaire. From a follower, become a leader. From an ordinary, become beyond and extraordinary. So, harmony and unity is the key of everything. I do respect them so much. It is impossible to avoid comparing with our beloved country, Thailand. Before, we used to be wealthy, but now we are in the way down because we lost the unity. As if we can take it back, we will become wealthy again. The thing which destroying our country is us. We are all destroying our beloved home. Only thing which can rejuvenate our home is the unity of every Thai people. I recall some quote that I'm sure everybody out there familiar. It is, union is strength. Together we live, separate we die. Please, I'm not talking about political problems. I am talking about the fact, the truth that we know it well. The truth never die. Be facing, don't avoid it. I have a dream that someday we will join our hands, hold it tight, and walk together. Drive our home to where we are dreaming of. I'm waiting for that day. From now on to forever, I dare to dream.
Wow, what a brilliant. We are all agreeing with you. We have to believe enough to dream and be facing with the truth.
Let's hold our hand again. We need all of you to join.
Yes, join our hand and hold it tight. We will be able to move our home to where we are dreaming of. Take back our unity. Someday the triumph will come to us. Someday we will be a leader.
Well, what about you, Annie? What do you think? Is there your favorite scene in the series?
Yes, there is. For me, I like the scene that Sophie was carrying a young boy across the hill and going to the village for avoid zombie. The scene was its first episode. Personally, I like Sophie before because she has loyal patience. And she had never ever abandoned those who were weaker than her. And the scene is, while the villagers, Sophie and the crown prince were evacuating from zombie through the forest. By the time there was a young boy asleep and fell down. He climbed to the corner of a big stone under the cliff. He saw cadavers lie down under the cliff. There were cadavers of zombies. Badly, the sun was getting down. The cadavers were awakening. Sophie and the crown prince looked at those cadavers, and they realized they didn't have much time. Therefore, they rushed to the village before the night came. During the evacuating, they had just to cut for children and the old. Suddenly, the zombie awoke. They had to run as quickly as they could. Fortunately, the first cat had arrived safely in the village, and Sophie carried the boy into village safely. Unfortunately, the second cart fell in the groove of the road and couldn't get back because the groove was too deep. In the end, The cooperation power of the crown prince, his court, and Yeonchin can narrowly lead the court into the village safely. The scene showed that Sobi was a good person who had patience, and there are not many people like her in real life. Sobi, she was also an honest and responsible. Sobi is considered one of the important forces in the series because if this series without her, we will not see the strength of women who had strongly mind as same as men. She did everything both for her, the crown prince, and other people's safety. She determined to cure people for illness. She used her knowledge in healing zombies to live as normally as human again. The character of Sobi is the best example for me in my life. She has taught me to be more patient and be honest to those people who were benefactors of us. And helping people is great thing, especially helping the weaker people, and to sacrifice what we can do.
Ah, me too. I also like Sobi, a tough woman who never afraid of the death. I have a deeply hope that she and the prince will be ended up together.
From interview, Beduna revealed that she had taken the scene for more than 3 times, and the last time she must be used a respirator for 5 minutes after shooting the scene. Well, there is another scene I favor the most. It is when the queen was pregnant. She pretended. The scene is in the 6th episode. It was amused and shocked me. Synchronously, the queen was a young stepmother of the crown prince. She was fierce and wicked. It in the scene that there was a woman gave birth as a daughter. The queen shot her soldier dead, killed them both mother and her daughter in the bathroom while the queen was preparing to shower. There was a lady in waiting or a maid facilitated her convenience. Suddenly, the lady in waiting was shouting and screaming out. Underneath the queen's clothes were hiding a secret of the queen. She wore a maternity dress made her look like she was pregnant, but actually she didn't pregnant. Under that purity face, in the couple of innocent eyes, were hiding the deepest infernal creature. Who know the truth, they must die.
I love the speech you said. Under that purity face, in the couple of innocent eyes, were hiding the deepest infernal creature. Who know the truth, they must die. This is clear redefinition of the queen. You know, she is the queen of inferno.
I think so. Just a weekend woman.
Well, after I have finished watching this series, I realized I have learned that those selfish people, they are always finding out every way to get what they want. Those, what they want is harmful to others, but they don't care anything. Even killing someone is easy for them if they can reach what they want. In my personal opinion, there is a thing I like about that series. Although this is a zombie series, but it is not emphasizing on survival from zombies all the time. But this series is combined with political problem and usurpation in the age of Joseon, in the era that Korea has not developed, and I think because the poverty and misery of Korean people back then are making Korea develop rapidly as everyone sees nowadays.
You want to tell us that poverty and misery are the power to make something impossible possible, right?
Yes, thank you for epitome and make it clearer.
Okay, you're welcome.
Alright, we have reflected, we've seen, we feel the most and what we have learned already. So, this is learning time. Remember, the last episode, we focused on noun, verb, adjective. But in this episode, I am gonna emphasize on adverb. And I have listed a set of adverbs in this episode. Okay, let's take a look. The first one is normally ซึ่งมีความหมายว่าปกติ behind มีความหมายว่าข้างหลัง pitifully มีความหมายว่าอย่างน่าสมเพช easily มีความหมายว่าอย่างง่ายดาย fully มีความหมายว่าอย่างเต็มที่ truly มีความหมายว่าอย่างแท้จริง commonly มีความหมายว่าปกติ probably มีความหมายว่าอาจหรืออาจจะค่ะ coincidentally หมายความว่าโดยบังเอิญค่ะ exceedingly หมายความว่าเหลือเกิน perfectly มีความหมายว่าอย่างสมบูรณ์ thoughtfully หมายความว่าเต็มไปด้วยความคิดหรือครุ่นคิดค่ะต่อไปค่ะ personally หมายความว่าส่วนตัว unfortunately หมายความว่าโชคไม่ดีหรือน่าเสียดายค่ะต่อไปค่ะ safely หมายความว่าอย่างแน่นหนา narrowly หมายความว่าอย่างวุดวิด strongly หมายความว่าเสถียร deeply หมายความว่าลึก especially หมายความว่าโดยเฉพาะอย่างยิ่งคำสุดท้ายค่ะ extremely หมายความว่าอย่างมาก So what is adverb? A word or phrase that modifies or qualifies an adjective, verb, or other adverb, or a word group expressing a relation of place, time, circumstance, manner, cause, degree, etc. Adverb คือคำหรือกลุ่มคำที่ไปทำหน้าที่ขยาย verb และ adjective และยังสามารถขยาย adverb ด้วยกันเองก็ได้เพื่อให้เนื้อความของประโยคนั้นมีความชัดเจนยิ่งขึ้นค่ะ The position of adverb ตำแหน่งที่1 subject บวก adverb บวก verb ตัวอย่างเช่น Jim suddenly realized that he forgot to bring the financial report ในตัวอย่างนี้นะคะ adverb จะอยู่ตรงคำว่า suddenly ซึ่งจะอยู่ตรงหน้ากริยาก็คือ realize ตำแหน่งที่2ค่ะ subject บวก verb บวก adverb บวก verb ตัวอย่างเช่น The cost of the project has dramatically increased since it began ตัวอย่างนี้นะคะ adverb จะอยู่ตรงคำว่า dramatically ซึ่งจะอยู่ตรงกลางระหว่าง verb ทั้ง2ตัว has กับ increase ค่ะตัวตำแหน่งที่3นะคะ subject บวก verb บวก adverb ตัวอย่างเช่น Employment level are unlikely to rise significantly before the end of next year ในตัวอย่างนี้นะคะ adverb จะอยู่ตรงคำว่า significantly ซึ่งจะอยู่ตรงหลัง verb ค่ะคือ rise ตำแหน่งที่4ค่ะ subject บวก verb บวก object บวก adverb ตัวอย่างเช่นSue always read the contract thoroughly before signing ในตัวอย่างนี้นะคะ adverb จะอยู่ตรงคำว่า thoroughly ซึ่งจะอยู่ตรงหลังกรรมค่ะตำแหน่งที่5ค่ะ adverb บวก adjective บวก noun ตัวอย่างเช่น Ben is an extremely responsible employee ในตัวอย่างนี้นะคะ adverb จะอยู่ตรงคำว่า extremely ซึ่งจะอยู่ตรงหน้า adjective คือ responsible ค่ะตำแหน่งที่6ค่ะ verb to be บวก adverb บวก adjective ตัวอย่างเช่น online sales are relatively easy to track ในตัวอย่างนี้นะคะ adverb จะอยู่ตรงคำว่า relatively ซึ่งจะอยู่ตรงหน้า adjective ค่ะคือ easy ตำแหน่งที่7ค่ะ verb บวก adverb บวก adverb ตัวอย่างเช่น Helen screamed extremely loudly when she fell down the stair ในตัวอย่างนี้นะคะ adverb จะอยู่ตรงคำว่า extremely กับ loudly ซึ่งในข้อนี้นะคะตัวadverb จะขยาย adverb ด้วยกันเองค่ะตำแหน่งที่8ค่ะ subject บวก verb บวก verb ช่องที่3บวก adverb ค่ะตัวอย่างเช่น the product should be checked thoroughly before being sent ในตัวอย่างนี้นะคะ adverb จะอยู่ตรงคำว่า thoroughly ตำแหน่งที่9ค่ะ to บวก adverb บวก verb inf verb inf ในที่นี้นะคะก็คือ verb ที่ไม่ผันรูปตามประธานค่ะตัวอย่างเช่น Rita plans to quickly finish the task by tomorrow ในตัวอย่างนี้นะคะ adverb จะอยู่ตรงคำว่า quickly ซึ่งจะอยู่ตรงหน้า verb ค่ะ
Alright, we have already given you some fascinating vocabulary, and can you see that the trains of thoughts of us are different and depend on what aspects we consider the series.
Yeah.
Actually, this series gave us many things, especially be patient, be sacrifice, be unity, and don't be selfish.
Yes, that's right. There are lots of good morals from the series, but the value of the series is depending on what dimension that people consider it. It's like each of us have learned in different lessons from the series. Or if you, the audiences out there, watch this series, you probably get the perspective difference from us as well.
It's really regretful that this is our last episode of the Series Talk podcast. We would like to say thank you for all of you who have followed us from the first episode until now.
Yes.
We take it as a great honor for your attention to our podcast. We extremely hope that our podcast would bring entertainment or new aspect to all of you.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much. This is time to say goodbye. Thank you again. Love you all, guys.
Bye bye. 감사합니다.